morning and welcome to another episode of Newspaper Review on Emirate Radio. How was your night and how are you people doing? How was work yesterday? Hope you were not really stressed. And how are the preparations for Salah? How is it going on your end? Hope it's going very well. I am Alimah Abdulsalam and today I'm going to be going through three newspapers. I have the Punch newspaper, the Daily Post newspaper and the Daily Trust newspaper. Taking you through top stories making rounds on newspapers this morning. On the Punch newspaper, federal government estimates 880 billion naira yearly for road maintenance. Still on the Punch newspaper, Wike's Tinubu endorsement sparks opposition firestorm. Still on the Punch newspaper this morning, over 450,000 Nigerians jostle for 10,000 federal government jobs. Still on the Punch newspaper, Delta government threatens to sack underperforming commissioners. Heading to the Daily Post newspaper this morning, fuel diesel prices may increase as federal government reps push implements of 5% road user charge. Still on the Daily Post newspaper this morning, Tinubu's CDS brought peace where El-Rufai failed, says Shehu Sani. On the Daily Post newspaper this morning, mocking immigration officer for rejecting 10 million naira bribe, foolish talk, says OT. And on the Daily Trust this morning, federal government mandates employees compensation scheme for public workers. Still on the Daily Trust this morning, Nigerians seek $25 billion investment for undersea gas pipeline to Europe. Those are the headlines that I came with today. Before I go deep into the news, I will be going on a short break, and when I'm back, we can enjoy the stories in details.
Are you a business owner? Emirate Radio gives the opportunity for infant organization and commercials for advertisement and publicity on our varieties of shows and update for the growth and expansion of your commodity. Grab the opportunity today by sending a mail to info@emirateradio.ng. Call 0903 4158 376 or 0806 134 6946. Visit Emirate Radio House behind Federal Ministry of Environment off Old Jebba Road, Ilorin, Kwara State, Nigeria. Emirate Radio, the voice of the people.
In the heart of Ilorin. History awakens. Every step, every drum beat, every color, a legacy rises again. Over 200 years ago, Ilorin warriors gathered on horsebacks, not to fight, but to show the strength in peace, to honor our emir, to honor our land, that traditions never dies. It lives in the Doba.
It is more than horses and drums. It is the rhythm of our heritage, passed from mothers to daughters, from fathers to sons. In every color, Every beat, every step, the spirit of Ilorin shines.
And this year, we bring it to you live, loud, and proud. Online, on air, and on ground. Ilorin Emirate 2025 Durban. Brought to you by Emirate Radio, the voice of tradition and the voice of the people.
Welcome back from the short break. Now, let's go deep into the stories. On the Punch newspaper this morning, federal government estimates 880 billion naira yearly for road maintenance. The federal government must spend about 880 billion naira annually for the maintenance of the federal road network nationwide. The Minister of State for Works, Mohammed Goroyo, declared yesterday. This came as the managing director of the Federal Road Maintenance Agency, Chukwuemeka Abisa, disclosed that the template for deducting the road user charge from the prices of petrol and diesel was never implemented by the debunked of Petrol Product Pricing Regulatory Authority, now the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority. The two government officials spoke in Abuja at an investigative hearing of the House of Representatives AD hoc committee. The committee is investigating the implementation of maintenance of the 5% use charge for the road maintenance under the Federal Road Maintenance Agency. Still on the Punch newspaper this morning, Wike's Tinubu's endorsement sparks opposition firestorm. The People's Democratic Party, New Nigerian People's Party, Coalition of United Political Party and others have strongly criticized the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, for openly declaring his plan to lead President Bola Tinubu's 2027 re-election campaign. During a media chat yesterday in Abuja, Wike described himself as a key asset in helping Tinubu win the 2027 election. The former Rivers State governor also intensified he was not involved in any anti-party activities and challenged the PDP to suspend him if they believe otherwise. In response, the party's deputy national youth leader, Timothy Osadolo, urged Nigerians to disregard Wike's comments, stating that the party would soon enforce its rules against the minister. The NNPP asserted that Tinubu would be defeated in 2027 despite Wike's endorsement. Still on the Punch newspaper this morning, over 450,000 Nigerians just sued for 10,000 federal government jobs. None fewer than 450,000 Nigerians have applied for federal government jobs. In January 2025, the federal government, through the Federal Civil Service Commission, announced the commencement of recruitment in various positions within the Federal Civil Service. A newspaper advertorial signed by the Director of Recruitment and Appointments, Ogbaba Ede, listed over 70 vacant positions. Some of the listed positions include Administrative Officer, Planning Officer, Program Analyst, Procurement Officer, Senior Computer Engineer, Dentist, Dental Officer, Population Program Officer, Medical Laboratory Scientist, Education Officer, and Senior Youth Development Officer. Other positions are Fishery Officers, Animal Health and Technologist, Sport Officer, State Council, Nursing Officer, Radiographer, Eye Technical Officer, Dental Therapist, Assistant Education Officer, Auditor Cultural Officer, Printing Officer, Tourism Officer, and Senior Instructor. Also on the list of positioning are physiologist, biomedical engineer, surveyor, computer engineer, geologist, program analysts, statisticians, and foreign affairs officers. A statement by the head of press and public relations at the FCSC, Taiwo Azan, disclosed that only eligible Nigerians could apply for the available position through the Commission's official recruitment portal. Still on the Punch newspaper this morning, Delta government threatens to sack underperforming commissioners. Delta State Governor Sheriff Obarivo has issued a firm warning to members of the State Executive Council, emphasizing that performance rather than tand-bearing will determine their continued stay in office. The governor gave the warning yesterday during the inauguration of 8 newly built duplex at the commissioner's quarter in Asaba, stressing that underperformance would not be tolerated. Oberivo clarified that while there is no blank solution plan as rumored, underperforming commissioners will be shown the door. Heading to the Daily Post newspaper this morning, fuel, diesel prices may increase as federal government reps push implements 5% road user charge. The price of premium motor spirit and automotive gas oil may increase as the Federal Ministry of Work and House of Representatives push for the implementation and maintenance of 5% road user charge to be factored into fuel and diesel prices. This was disclosed at an investigative hearing of the House of Representatives ADHOC committee yesterday in Abuja. According to the Minister of State for Works, Muhammad Goroyo, there is an urgent need for Nigerian midstream and downstream petroleum regulatory authority to implement the 5% road user charge collection to address the funding defects of the country's maintenance of federal roads. He noted that Nigerians need 800 billion annually for road maintenance, but the budget allocated to Federal Road Maintenance Agency has fallen sharply. Still on the Daily Post newspaper this morning, Tinubu's CDS brought peace where El-Rufai failed, says Shehu Sani. Former Kaduna Central Senator Shehu Sani says the Chief of Defense Staff Christopher Musa has brought peace to southern Kaduna where ex-governor Nasiru El-Rufai failed. Sani disclosed this while warning the insecurity in the north is not yet over. He said bandits were still killing and kidnapping people in the northern part of the country. Addressing the press briefing at his residence in Kaduna yesterday, the former lawmaker said the security situation has improved under the administration of President Bola Tinubu. He said insecurity in the north is not yet over. Bandits are still killing people. They are kidnapping people in Katsina State. They are still doing that in Zamfara State. There are major killings on the roads by bandits. Still glued to the Daily Post newspaper this morning, mocking immigration officer for rejecting 10 million naira bribe, foolish talks, says OT. Abia State Governor Alex Oti has commended the Abia-born immigration officer Ugochukwu Orijo, who recently rejected a 10 million naira bribe while on duty. He said the officer would be celebrated by Abia State in due course. He also urged the officer not to be discouraged by anyone mocking him for rejecting the bribe. Governor Oti gave the commendation weekend when he received top members of Hoha Isiaga Ngawa, who recently organized a civil reception appreciation for him. He expressed joy that the immigration officer, Mr. Ugechuku Oriju, performed his job very well by demonstrating honesty by being a good ambassador of his community and Abia State at large. Heading to the Daily Trust newspaper, but before I go deep into the Daily Trust newspaper, I'll be going on a short break. When I'm back, I'll take the stories in details.
Are you a business owner? Emirate Radio gives the opportunity for infant organization and commercials for advertisement and publicity on our varieties of shows and update for the growth and expansion of your commodity. Grab your opportunity today by sending a mail to info@emirateradio.ng. Call 0903 4158 376 or 0806 134 6946. Visit Emirate Radio House behind Federal Ministry of Environment off Old Jebba Road, Ilorin, Kwara State, Nigeria. Emirate Radio, the voice of the people.
Alright, welcome back. Still on the Daily Trust newspaper, federal government mandates employees compensation scheme for all public workers. The Nigerian Social Insurance Trust Fund (NSITF) says if it's concerning a sensitization of civil servants in furtherance of implementation of the Employees Compensation Scheme in Federal Civil Service. The managing director of the NSITF, Mr. Oluwaseun Faleye, disclosed this in Abuja during the weekend when he leads his team of the Office of the Federal Head of State to kickstart the compensation campaign. Speaking during the visit, the head of the Federal Civil Service, Mrs. Esther Wallison Jack, pledged her support to the NSITF to ensure that all workers in the public sector benefit from the scheme. She said government is committed to working with the NSITF as embark on sensitization across the service. The NSITF managing director lauded the initiative of the head of service, adding that the opportunity to serve in the Head of Service Committee for the Federal Civil Service Strategy and Implementation Plan 2025 reinforced his commitment to ensure the implementation of the ECF in the federal service. And on the last story for the day, on the Daily Trust newspaper, Nigerians seeks $25 billion investment for undersea gas pipeline to Europe. Vice President Kashim Shettima has disclosed that Nigeria is pursuing a massive $25 billion undersea gas pipeline project to support gas to Europe. The project is the Nigerian-Morocco gas pipeline aimed at transporting Nigerian gas to Morocco and onward to Europe through the West African coastal line. This is just as Vice President Shettima has said President Bola Tinubu's broad economic reform has positioned Nigeria as prime investment destination, especially in the energy sector. Speaking yesterday during a meeting with Vitro Group, the world's largest independent commodity trader, at the presidential villa, the vice president said Nigerians' leadership transformation under President Tinubu's represents an unprecedented opportunity for international investors. He said most importantly is the leadership President Bola Tinubu grew up in, the economic system and finance. That ends the newspaper review for this morning on Emirate Radio. For more in-depth on the stories, you can always get the Punch newspaper, the Daily Post newspaper, and the Daily Trust newspaper. I remain Alimah Abdulsalam. Till tomorrow.